tafasali, vile wanasema Narok, tafasali, simama. Pigia makofi tafadhali. There's another lady huko nimeona na shanga imejaa hapa kwa neck. Hebu simama tafadhali tukushukuru. Hebu mpigie makofi tafadhali. Kutoka county gani? Isiolo. Asante sana. It's good to have you with us. It's good to have all the nationalities represented. And I'll be a pre-master of ceremony. Basically, I'll be here to serve you in whichever way that will make your experience and impact for this third National Agroecology Symposium memorable and something that you will go home saying, it was worth my time, worth my 2 days that I spent, my Wednesday and my Thursday. And so reach out to me, and also the Pelham team Kenya, our co-conveners are here to also support you, and you've interacted with them as you were going through the registration desk and space coming in here. East Africa Community Anthem, we're good to go. Please, let's rise, ladies and East Africa Community Anthem, we're good to go. Please, let's rise, ladies and gentlemen, for the national anthem. Asanteni sana. You may have your seats, and I'll call on Reverend George Mwambu to come up front and lead us in prayer. Kuna stairs hapa just for.
This is a good morning that the Lord has given unto us. To eat from tree in the garden. First was the farm, the garden. First was the farm, the garden. A well-prepared garden. And then he gave us the freedom to enjoy in the garden. And if you want to know how loving is our Father, after this session, move to the tents and see the abundance that God is giving us. Endeavor things, good things, healthy things that God gave unto us. They are produced from the garden, from the soil. Very healthy soils that God gave us. But remember, he gave us the instruction. We are to till the land. We are to take care of the land. Even as we produce what we need, even as we speak about angry business, even as we think of how we want to be wealthy, produce more, we also need to remember we are operating under instructions that we need to take care of the garden. We need to take care of the land so that we can continue to enjoy the abundance. And that's the origin of agroecology. Experts, they will guide us on how to take care of the garden. That was the design of God. And when we commit the name before your able hands, we commit the name before your able hands, everything in the abundance that will provide them to us. My Father, we pray that your love may be manifested in our presence. We bless all the readers, we bless all the visitors, the guests invited.
To our Maker. And I should have known that we had a sermonette coming up, and thank you, Reverend George, for that resilient future. We can talk all we want, but without some direction to it and dedicating it to, at least for those who are of the persuasion of the faith, as I am unashamedly part of their efforts There we have it, South Africa. And if we go just a bit beyond, I'm not talking about Rongai, because we have all the counties represented. We have all our CECMs representing several counties here, but we have representation from every 47 county of Kenya, being the host country for this edition. From across the shores here, we will have, I believe I met some people from Netherlands. You can raise your hands over there. Yes, karibuni sana. From Italy. Italy? Yes, Italy. We have two representation. I met someone, Lisa, from Germany. Germany here. Am I leaving anyone out? You can shout out. Switzerland. Let's appreciate our delegate from Switzerland. Anyone else that I may have left out in terms of the countries on the continent or beyond? Please just shout it out. Wapi? Rongai. Sawa, Rongai. Okay. For what it's worth. Rongai. For those who are not from Kenya, Rongai is quite far. So it does feel sometimes when you're making your way there that you are going to a different country. So we appreciate all those from Rongai. Karibuni sana. And we appreciate the representation for this third edition of the National Agroecology Symposium. And these thoughts are definitely for peer review during these 2 days. And to set the context and just to help us appreciate why indeed that we are here. It's not the first
Third National Agroecology Symposium. Third National Agroecology Symposium. I'm really excited to be here. Secretary representing the Cabinet Secretary, the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock Development, distinguished guests, government representatives both from the national and county levels, development partners, Pelam Kenya, Board of Directors, fellow directors, all protocol observed. Good morning. Hamjambo. I'm really happy to be here, and in my session, we work as a network of 68 member organizations. We work as a network of 68 member organizations, soon to be 74. Our mission is to champion agroecological principles and practices among smallholder farmers, pastoralists, fisher folks, and for their livelihood improvement. Really, our work spans through advocacy and policy influence, capacity enhancement, climate action, youth and women, participatory action research, and local market development. We have a reach of 1.5 million smallholder farmers, pastoralists, and fisher folks working across all the 47 counties of Kenya. And we are humbled as Pelam Kenya to be the lead convener of this symposium, which is co-hosted together with the Ministry of Agriculture, Biodiversity, SEAT, Landscape Alliance, which was primarily for its members. However, in 2024, the network made a bold and strategic decision to open this platform, to a broader community of stakeholders. First, in 2024, the symposium brought together about 200 participants, and the second edition in 2025 brought 484 participants. Today, we convene here for this third edition, which is hosting over 500 participants. I believe some are in the tens. Dear delegates, this is not just a symposium. It is a movement. It is a space for networking, accountability, momentum building, and impact. We convene at a very critical moment. Our country and even the globe at large is facing interconnected challenges, chains, and affect access to essential inputs. In response, agroecology is increasingly recognized as a transformative pathway for change, anchored on a One Health approach that integrates human, animal, and environmental well-being to build resilience, inclusive, and sustainable on integrated ecosystems, animal and human health, including soil and water systems transformation. And also, guess what? We shall have awards for the best exhibitors. So we hope that you all win, especially those who are exhibiting. Distinguished participants, as we move to the discussions ahead, I want to offer a few personal reflections and thoughts that I hope will guide us as we conversate and shape our collective action beyond this symposium. The first one is I recognize that in 2024 as a country in Kenya, we launched the National Agroecology Strategy for Food Systems Transformation. And at county level, they are not at the margins, they are at the center of production, innovation and resilience. Women cannot just continue to build immense potential. I speak from a personal earners while creating stable markets for local farmers. We must strengthen efforts towards de-risking agri-food systems, making them more attractive for investment while safeguarding smallholder farmers' livelihoods. The fourth, or the sixth actually, is deliberate efforts across all levels must be made to increase financing for agroecology in climate action. As a climate action ambassador, I fully support that agroecology must be recognized, supported as a scalable climate solution. It is worrying that research and evidence shows that agroecology only receives 1.5% of the total climate finance budget, while in total agri-food systems receive only about 2.5%. Finally, we must increase investments in bioinputs, soil health, and farmer-managed seed systems, ensuring farmers have independence, knowledge, and sustainability in production systems. Coming in numbers, any fisherfolk communities, people from the lake or river associate yourself as a fisherfolk. Please stand and wave, don't be scared. Fisher folks, thank you. There are few, but yeah, we hope next time there'll be more. Research and academia. The gurus in research and academia. Wow, I can see a number of them here. Let's clap for them. Thank you. Wow, I can see a number of them here. Let's clap for them. Thank you. Civil society actors. So much for joining us. County governments. I hope Makueni mpo. Where county governments, I hope Makueni mpo. Where I come from Makueni. Please stand, we wave and recognize the county governments. And we wave and recognize the county governments. And I can see also dance with you. Thank you for coming in numbers. I can see Crispus there. From IFJAD is one of our youth, and Kamau of Wing Farm and other youth, including our very youth, and Kamau of Wing Farm and other youth, including our very own Juma of working with us at Pelham. I want also to lead organizer in the office, and we acknowledge all the staff. You will see them tomorrow. For our online participants, we also recognize and appreciate you. As I finish now, I want to encourage all of us, please take us this opportunity to learn, share, connect, and build lasting partnership. And my parting shot is that as we continue this symposium, let us remember that agroecology must move from a conversation, it must move from strategies to real change in the livelihoods of smallholder farmers.
Millennial, I am one. But hey, let's not leave out Gen Alpha, born between 2013-2025. They might be here. Gen Alpha, 25. They might be here. Gen Alpha, borderline, 2012. For those who'd like to utilize a Wi-Fi, for those who are not from Kenya, the Wi-Fi. For those who are not from Kenya, the Wi-Fi that you can utilize is IMS_guest. IMS_guest, and the password is CBK at 1MS. The ones that are closer to this auditorium, I am told, are under construction at the moment. So you would need to access the ones at the Financial Knowledge Management Complex, which is right outside the reception area, the main reception. Then you take a left, you'll see the signboard there, and there's a guard that's standing by for Pelham, Kenya, Miss Janet Momo, for her welcome.
Give my opening remarks. I would wish to introduce the board. Mahali mko tu just simameni. The board. the board. Yes. Just wave. Thank you very much. I saw my former chair, Pelham, Kenya. Wow, wave. That is my former chair, very able. And I also saw the former country director. Yes, just wave. Thank you very much, Mr. Makanya. That's a very great man. There are some civil societies and private sector representatives from research, academia, farmers, pastoralists, representatives from research, academia, and farmers, pastoralists, fisherfolk, Pelham Kenya members and board, traditional leaders, each of you to this third National Agroecology Symposium. Your presence here today reflects not only your commitment to agroecology, but also your shared dedication to building inclusive, sustainable, and resilient agro-food system for Kenya and beyond. Distinguished guests, we meet at the defining moment. Across Kenya, farmers are facing the harsh realities of climate change, rising production cost, degraded soils, unstable markets. At the same time, our nation is grappling with the urgent need to ensure food security, improve nutrition, and build resilient livelihoods. These challenges demand more than incremental change. They demand systematic transformation. Agroecology offers that pathway. It is not an alternative on the sidelines. It is a strategic solution that aligns with our national development priorities, climate commitments, and the aspirations of our people. As a board, we commend the government of Kenya for the financing that is targeted and sustained, enabling policies that prioritize and empower smallholder farmers, meaningful partnership with civil society, the private sector, and the communities. Distinguished participants, as we reflect on this year's theme, transforming agro-food system through agroecology, a One Health approach for inclusive, sustainable, and resilient future. We are reminded that policy, practice, and institutionalizing in. We thank you for making the journey. To our partners and members, we appreciate you, your continued commitment, and to our farmers and the grassroots actors, we honor your resilience and leadership. Karibuni sana, and I wish you all a productive and impactful symposium. Thank you very much, and welcome once again.
Asante sana for those welcoming remarks, and also a reminder to be guided by purpose. You can just place that on the podium for the next speaker, because we are getting to the first session of this plenary opening moment, and this will be on the One Health and Agroecology for Resilient Food Systems. And for the keynote presentation that will then set the context for the conversation that will be held by those who will assume these seats, I'd like to call on Dr. Kahariri Samuel, who is serving at the State Department for Livestock Development at the Ministry,
which is a husband of one, and also FOT, which is a father of three.
I stand guided. Apologies. I would want you to be secure to get back home.
Sorry for that. So we are also going to be expecting a lot of mosquitoes to increase and such pests that depend on such kind of environment, and the diseases that come with mosquitoes like Rift Valley fever and others are going to be on the rise. We are going to be expecting to lose lives here of both animals and human. We are also going to be expecting a loss of infrastructure in terms of destructions and so on and so forth. And we are also going to be expecting loss of economic gains and livelihoods from people. So the question is this a problem of the agriculture? Is this a is this a livestock sector problem? Is this a public health problem? Or is it food insecurity, diseases, including those that even affect human beings, and the crossover to crossover from animal to human beings? And we have also seen a lot of biodiversity loss and climate stress. There's a lot of attempts to address these issues, but fragmented attempts. We have also seen a lot of climate change, which is bringing more frequent droughts. Remember, Kenya is in the tropics, and when it is a dry season, it becomes quite dry. And when it is a rainy season, sometimes we experience the floods that we are experiencing. And then we have also population growth that has been growing steadily in the country. And this growth has come with increased demand for foods and also quality foods and so on and so forth. There's also degradation of national resources, and therefore soil health, availability of water has been at stake. And also emerging health threats. We have seen emerging diseases coming on board and early warning systems to be able to. So this is ideally, the goal is to work with nature rather than against it. So One Health, therefore, tells us what must be protected. Therefore, the agri-food systems that we are talking about today helps us and gives us a shared driver for most of the challenges that we are talking about: malnutrition, zoonotic disease, environmental degradation. And that is why when we talk about agri-food systems on our livestock, some of them is from the foods that we are growing in the farms. So when this bee is cross-pollinating, it contributes greatly to the manner in which these sectors are intertwined, calls for us to then start thinking about a platform through which we can be able to integrate, to work and address the issues affecting this area. This is to again emphasize to you the tropics and the manner in which, when it is drought season, animals die, crops and the food security issue becomes even more pronounced. When it is rainy, a good number of parts within this country becomes flooded, and all the problems that comes with it also start becoming a problem to the people. And this again calls for us to start asking ourselves, how do we then make our food systems or agri-food systems resilient in the face of this unpredictable umbrella in which we are going to be addressing that? We emphasize through agroecology to see practices that can help us to, more often than not, leverage on what is existing in the nature to be able to avoid excessive use of these inputs. So again, if we are able to achieve a healthy ecosystem, this will help us to have healthy soils, healthy animals and crops, and this will contribute to the food security and we are talking about, and not only food security, but also provide safe food for our population. And this then helps us to also achieve healthy people. And because most of the conditions that affect the human beings, as you'll see, they are actually avoidable within the value chains of the various agri-food systems, and can therefore be able to be addressed if we embrace One Health in the agroecology. So the next one is, we are just now calling for action, if you can allow. And in this, we just try to curate a few steps we can look at in a.
Go ahead. It's time out, but it's not planned. Just keep going. Just as we wrap up.
Sorry. So we just say through joint policies that, so that then we can actually think on specific sectors, so that then it can address the complex issues within this sector. Then the prosperity, the issues that we are looking at, the growth of the principal outcome, and the prosperity, that is the prosperity that is environmentally sustainable, socially inclusive, and economically viable. So if we can just remember that the future of the food security will not be determined by how much,
but it will be availed to you through the registration team, given the contacts that you have shared. And also in the event that you've misplaced something, please head on to the registration desk. I believe there is a certain Lucy, a delegate amongst us, who has misplaced the black Toyota car keys. If you come across that, please take it to the registration desk, and you will be able to get anything you lose at the registration desk. The premises that we are in is very secure, I assure you, but in the event you misplace something or you find something misplaced, please take it to the registration desk. And anyone who has lost or misplaced something, you could find registration desk. And anyone who has lost or misplaced something, you could find it there. And also, in the event you'd need some FOT, father of three, we appreciate that. I'd like now to call on the moderator for the next session, Dr. Nehemiah Mihindo, Executive Director, Effective IPM Association, AIPMA. As he comes up to stage, tafadhali tumpe makofi. And if you hear your name, just in the interest of time, I'll ask us that you come on stage for those who are participating in the first plenary on From Vision to Action, Operationalizing One Health and Agroecology for Resilient Food Systems. And I'll call on Douglas Murunga from the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development. This is just to assist in making it faster, sir. If you hear your name, please come up on stage and I'll tumpige makofi akija. I'll also call on Ms. Hannah Kigamba from the Diabetes Awareness Trust. Please give her a hand as she comes up on stage. Francis Mwangi, who is a farmer, please join us on stage. Francis Mwangi, tafadhali ukisikia jina lako, njoo ungane nasi hapa mbele. Francis Mwangi, who is a farmer, tafadhali njoo if you hear your name. And Leila Odhiambo from the Ministry of Health, Directory of Nutrition and Dietetics Services. Asante Francis, karibu sana. And Leila Odhiambo from the Ministry of Health is joining us as well.
I'll start my first question with Douglas Murunga. And how can sustainable financing mechanism be harnessed nationally to guarantee sustained implementation of
to be identified, so that these players can be able to match up very well. So the government uses the county governments and the national government to put up this framework. And these are the MTPs, that is the medium-term plans for the national government, and the county integrated plans. Those are 5 years. And then within the years, there are annual budgets that normally are put so that they can enhance productivity towards One Health approach. So the best way to make this sustainable is to encompass this approach into medium plans and into integrated county plans, so that it can be realized within the defined period of time. And then, of course, we have the development partners who come in very handy. And in this case, you'd environmental trust fund, which can also support in a more sustainable way, even beyond governments and governments. So I want to put it at that.
Thank you very much. As we try to transition from vision to action and operationalizing,
it's coming at the right time, because one of the greatest threats to our health currently is, especially on the food, like delivering these wins of the One Health approach. One is agroforestry, that is tree-based farming. It's a benefit to ecosystem. It's a benefit to ecosystem. Reports on the exposure of use of hazardous pesticides in the food production, what is leading to. The good thing, these practices are not new. They are practices that we have been doing approach, where even the medics speak on, especially the prevention aspect, rather than focusing only on curative aspect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. She has mentioned that food is medicine, isn't it? and which is very, very important. Remember our
From when we started partnering with Pelham in these conversations, we have really been wanting to mainstream animal welfare conversations into agroecology, and I'm really glad that this team has been able to do that because when people talk about agroecology, most of the time they talk about disease prevention as opposed to routine medication. I believe the doctors in the house will agree when it's said that AMR, antimicrobial resistance, is a slow pandemic that is coming up, that we can see it. It's actually a visible threat. And that is continually happening because people go to the market and they ask each other, have you not been using this on your cow? Do you not know this and this and this? And they're getting advice from each other as opposed to being supported by knowledge experts on this subject. So we find we are over-medicating our animals, and then we are consuming that as people. So of course it's interlinked. It's interlinked to agroecology, and we want to actually also say that agroecology provides an opportunity to improve animal welfare, because agroecology speaks about diversified farming systems. We are talking about pasture-based production where appropriate. We are talking about integration of crops and livestock and reduced dependence on external outputs. These are all opportunities for healthy their cows. Like, you know, they would speak to them, they would have conversations with their cows without even knowing, without even seeing. They would be like, that's so-and-so pulling such a rope, that is so-and-so disturbing the neighbor. They would just know their animals because they had a relationship with their animals. When did we lose this, and can we get it back so that we are able to then have this circularity that we are talking about, the interconnectedness?
so much on crops and leave the animals. If we beat animals, I have heard, like you said, that there is also some spiritual connection between humans and animals. They will get annoyed and you will be cursed. I heard something like that, but I know that she has also talked about antimicrobial resistance because of the use of antibodies. And it is true that farmers are using a lot of antibodies and so trying to interfere with that system. Thank you very much. My next question is to Mr. Francis. Mr. Francis, how can indigenous knowledge, community participation, and inclusive approaches, that is gender and youth, strengthen the implementation and scaling of integrated One Health and in solving agroecology problems, giving agroecology solutions?
Oh, thank you. I'm Mangi Francis, a farmer from Ruranga. And people, there's an action that we are supposed to take so that our Mother Nature, that called that our Mother Nature, the nature. But all what I found is that they used to do things that even I today, I carry them on, because I know for sure that those practices that they were practicing, I found them that they can be applied even today. What I'm saying is that I found them herbs that they gave, it was responding to that the way they used to do things. We can do it even in the modern life that we are living today. So, as I conclude, there is the call of us as a people to work together so that we may see that we achieve the goal of One Health. Because for sure, we as a people and our animals or our livestock needs us.
Ministry of Health, Division of Nutrition and Dietetics, I coordinate healthy diets. And for us in health, I'll just give a background before I answer the question, that any human being, for their growth and development and sustenance of life, they need various nutrients, and the body runs on nutrients and is sustained by nutrients. For the nutrients to be accessed, we have defined the nutrients. We have also, nutrients come from food. So we have defined which foods are of fruits, other vegetables. There are some that are purple, there are some that are of different colors. We have I like the keynote speaker, are very relevant to what we need. I like the keynote speaker, are very relevant to what we need as health to promote good nutrition. We have stipulated a country for maize. We think maize is the country for maize. We think maize is the food security, but we have insufficient supply of very nutritious foods, including the friendly ones like indigenous crops. We have transitioned to westernized diets. We also have a range of food safety concerns that have been spoken to, that as us in health promote consumption of healthy foods, we are grappling with what my colleague has talked about here on the pesticide residues and the antibiotics use that have resulted in antimicrobial resistance. And there's also low investment in research and innovation. So we are not really getting from researchers, and I like that they're full in this room, on what the nexus is between all these conversations, between health and agriculture and agroecology and One Health. So there is insufficient research. For example, we have food composition tables that are very clear on what nutrients are found in the foods in Kenya, including the foods we are losing, like the ones Francis and the other speakers have talked about. We are members of the Agroecology Steering Committee, and we also have worked collaboratively with agriculture to define what nutrition-sensitive agriculture is. We have an agri-nutrition implementation strategy and a nutrition-sensitive agriculture package, and the food and nutrition security policy is very clear on these conversations that we are having today. Maybe you can take a look and see that we are not really stuck. The policy was signed by 6 ministries or so. We are also collaborating with these ministries to create capacities to sustain healthy diets. Our call is that we just to find ticks and all those things that we are using that are unsafe.
And you can give your comment, question. I see one at the back. Thank you. Any other? So we can locate you with the team and have a mic on standby. There's some in the middle here. Tafadhali, if there's anyone else with the mic handy, there's some up front in the middle area. So you just stand up, your name, keep it brief. We only have 6 minutes to accommodate this.
Thank you. My name is Meshak Sikuku. I'm from Ripple Effect. And my question goes to our colleagues from the Ministry of Agriculture and as well as Health. I do understand that the Kenya One Health National Strategy ended in 2021. I think it was 2025, sorry. I think it was from 2021 to 2025. So given the complexity of One Health, as the speakers have mentioned, could you share with us some of the lessons and milestones that we have accrued from that previous strategy? And are there plans also to have a new strategy, perhaps spanning from 2027 going forward? But my second most important one is, given also the complexity of that, and given that One Health strategy was domiciled in 2 ministries, but also bringing it together other ministries in implementation, what are the avenues and platforms for partners such as Ripple Effect and all those other partners represented here in terms of partnership and implementation or operationalization of One Health? Thank you.
Asante. We could take the question, not get lost in time and detail. There's a lady up front here. She had her hand up earlier. Okay, there's several. So I'll go to you and we'll give you a chance as well.
Thank you. My name is Christine Karanja, National Chapter Lead World Food Forum Kenya, but also a member of the Right to Food Coalition Policy and Legal Working Group. So my question goes to Sally. Follow up on what you've said in terms of the community is not engaged on what you're doing. I applaud you on the interministerial 6 ministries initiative, but food systems exist in a devolved setting. So what are you doing to trickle this down for localization? Is it extension services? And does it have that interministerial? And how can we as youth organizations help to amplify that and bring it down to the community so that it has impact and it doesn't sit on shelves as we have in Kenya?
Asante. You can stand by there as I give you a chance.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kahiriri, for the keynote. We start developing from home. I heard somewhere things don't go wrong. They start wrong. So if we start by providing this education from family level to our education system, then we train our...
Agree with the other partners that how this is disseminated to the communities that are working at the local level to ensure that we can tap into what communities are doing. Thing that we are struggling with, especially for women that are really involved in agroecology, is access to land. So I think it's very important for us to really integrate.
Can start giving patients healthier food. Thank you.
The environment. So there is milestones that have been achieved so far. There has been an establishment of the National Public Health Institute that is now going to be domiciling the One Health initiatives in the country. And then we also have established over 30 county One Health units around the country, which are multi-sectoral, including all those players. The other thing is whether there is any new strategy. Yes, there is we have not had any legal framework for operationalizing One Health, but currently there is a draft One Health policy under development, and we hope to have that finalized so that it can give the much desired legal framework to operationalize the One Health. And I think it's at this stage where it becomes very important so that then all these sectors and also in bringing in the angle of agroecology so that then it is as inclusive as may be desired. So the other thing about the speaker who mentioned about enabling environment.
A policy is as good as its implementation. And if you look at these policies that are in the shelves, what necessitates its implementation is the money part and the skill and capacity. If you look at the NAS strategy that is being highlighted and even showcased to all the partners that are involved, you realize it covers a lot of entities that approaches the One Health approach. And so we can leverage on the existing strategy that is happening, even as the draft is coming up for finalization, so that we realize these things as the low-lying fruits. The other thing is that it is a whole body approach. Realize what you can play in what field you are in and see how you can contribute to this One Health approach. Because you realize the lying ministries that cover the One Health approach is all a multi-sectorial subject. You will see the health ministry there, the Department of Agriculture is there, livestock is there. You'll also see the environmental sector is really covered. So it's me and you as a basis of objectiveness to realize what the One Health approach really requires. Thank you.
I will request Nehemiah to answer the question on the trickling down of the policy on food systems to the county, because implementation is at county level. But I will answer the question on how we can help farmers to supply healthy foods to schools and to hospitals. And yes, our role is to define and to give capacity on what should be given to our defined which food, nutritious food that should be supplied to the schools. And that guideline is something that you need to watch the space. We are also finalizing the public food procurement conversation so that we have a policy for institutions to be able to supply to be able to be supplied with healthy and safe foods. My final comment is to the speaker who the participant who asked about we have policies in shelves. I wish you could engage a bit more with government and you will.
Veterinary services. I think I'm also speaking to government representatives. We need to look at strengthening veterinary services, empowering those people who are in that sector. There's a bill that has been stuck as a bill for quite long on animal welfare and protection. How do we move this into law so that we can also actualize agroecology through it? And the third one is how can we reward back to us as human to healthier communities, back to us as human to healthier communities. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are in agreement that you can't work alone, and different interventions are being put forward so that we can be part of the whole. The other thing put forward so that we can be part of the whole. The other thing is that we have been told that food is medicine. And the issue of One Health to schools. I know there is a program that is headed by Pelham Kenya, funded by the Rockefeller Foundation, and Rockefeller Foundation is working in many parts of the country, where we are now even training. And I would like to thank you for listening to us. Thank you very much.
Asante sana for starting us strong. Dr. Nehemiah, please stand up front. Take a step to the front with your panel so we can have a picture of this. Our first session of the first day here on One Health and Agroecology for Resilient Food Systems. As a step forward, just one step forward as we take a picture. You could give me a thumbs up once you're good with the picture. Let's give them a hand in appreciation, and thank you as well for those who've contributed with questions and their comments, and we encourage that as we continue. And as they take their seats, I'll be giving us some of the instructions and directions that will help us know where to go. And I had initially announced about the ladies and the gents access outside the financial complex. However, there is some more room given at the dining area, which is a bit of a distance, so you probably want to use block D, and there's someone on standby to guide you there if you are. Kwa nini mnacheka wanaume tafadhali, lakini cholesterol is real? Kwa nini mnacheka wanaume tafadhali, lakini cholesterol is real? I did a test and nikaambiwa once we're able to do that. But yes, for the front row, those who are front row here, please follow. And Mary has gone. You follow Rosina, our country director. Yes, you follow Rosina, our country director. And Mary is there at the door. She will guide you. And Mary is there at the door. She will guide you as to where you will head on, because some of you will be participating in the session coming up after the tea break. 20 minutes. 20 minutes. So let's keep time. And yes, enjoy the experiential area at the exhibition. Enjoy tea and see you in 20 minutes. I'll be here waiting for you.
Summer, winter, autumn, spring, mountains, blue skies.
And yes, your valuables are safe, so you can leave them here. Endelea tuna mziki, samahani DJ. But yes, your valuables are safe. You can leave your the bags that you have, your laptops. Be as hands-free as possible as you will be managing the tea and the bitings at the exhibition area. That is where tea is being served, at the exhibition area. Yes, you can access it through here, and it's to the right. The setup is the big tent setup right outside in the garden as you take in the fresh air and enjoy the refreshments on offer. Your stuff is very safe, and if you have misplaced something, head on to the reception or the registration desk. The lady who announced losing the key